Okay, it is 8:58 Sunday, April 12th, and I'm going to share some visions with you I had a while ago. And one of them is that I was shown a power line. And what had happened to this power line is I was shown that the power line had been kind of doubled back a little bit and scrunched. And on the power line was some sort of metal round piece. And on one side of the metal round piece, there were multiple holes. And I'm not sure what I was being shown, like what it was supposed to do or what it was. But God showed me something like that. And then I was shown I believe, what might have been a private or a government drone. And it was white, and it was following down another set of power lines in a different area. And it was traveling down the power pole to power pole up in the sky. And it's like it was following this path. And I was thinking, I wonder what it's doing. And then God showed me that I was looking at a drone. And this was a military drone. I saw one down in a desert area. And it was like a sand-colored military drone. And it had like a hump, like a camel hump on the front of it. And it was very narrow in the front. And then I was shown that there was a white one, and it had like American colors on it. There was an emblem on it, and it had a hump on the top. This kind of the same as the other one. And it was also aerodynamic in the front. And then I was shown another kind of like, I'm not sure if it was a drone, but it was up in a mountainous region, and it was overlooking a part of some sort of valley. And what it had on it was a weapon. And this weapon, it was pointed at it, but the weapon went up. It's like it decided to move from its position and not do what it was going to do. And then I was shown another area of a valley. And this military drone was overlooking this part of a valley. And I remember seeing a waterway that this military drone or some sort of private drone was looking over. But there was like a snaked around kind of waterway. And then I was shown another drone, and it was in a valley area, and it was looking kind of the opposite way as the last one. And its position was up in a mountainous area, and it was overlooking that part of a valley. Let's see, I was shown a lot of things. I also saw down in the desert area, there was like a cowboy or something, and he was standing outside of his like barn. And then I was shown it was like me. And I had this ring on that I used to wear a lot of times. It was a silver ring. And I had put my hands up in the air, like to say, here, I'm here. But it's like I wasn't in that area. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to move to a different area. So, I was shown a lot of people wearing earpieces, okay? And they really don't have anything to kind of, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if this has something involved with that or not, but I saw, I've been shown like a lot of corrupt people, and they sit in the house that I call the balance scales house. And they are so corrupted. They do terrible things to people and to minors. And as I think back on those dreams, on those things that I was shown, visions, dreams, whatever they were, I believe that a lot of this stuff was about ready to start, or they were already using what was happening to do their corrupt. And I believe that other nations found out and other people found out, and they sent people to investigate. And when you start dealing with people that are from different nations and different countries, and they start realizing what has been happening, and that they've been duped, and that they've been taken for a ride, and it shouldn't have been like that, they start sending people in. All right, they don't like what's happened. Especially in the state of California. They don't like it. And, some people might not understand what I'm talking about, but some people understand completely because they're guilty. They're guilty of it. And it is a massive tragedy. It's a massive tragedy. There's other things I was shown too. Oh, I had a vision of the president in the White House. He had his dark blue jacket on and his red tie, and he was walking down the corridor in the White House. And then there's a lot of other things I was shown. Let's see. Oh, I also saw him traveling on a train with somebody, looking out a window, standing up, next to a man. They both had overcoats on, and the man had a hat on, I believe, and he was standing on the right side of Trump. There's a lot of things that God has shown me, and I know that I'm going to be victorious in my life. Because what happened to me was a massive tragedy. I don't know exactly everybody that was involved in it. I'm not saying like that. I'm kind of skipping around. But I'm just like, it's unbelievable. Back in the day, I might have shared on my postings on my channel that God said, you are surrounded by marauders. And marauders is a band of thieves. And he also said, I had a dream that I was standing in front of, actually at the back of this military vehicle. And there was a man standing there, and the bottom of his face was painted white. And he had a military overcoat on, and he was completely military. And there was a bunch of people standing behind me. And they looked like, I don't know, they were just listening to him because he was speaking. And the town around me was destroyed. Like, buildings were collapsed. It was just putrid. It looked disgusting. And the man was addressing them about me. And he said, because of what you've done to her, you'll never find my nest eggs. Or no, he said, because of what you've done to her, you'll never find her, something like that. I forget what it was. And he said, and you'll never find my nest eggs. And that's when I was having dreams that someone was saying they want your nest eggs. And I was thinking, nest eggs, what is that? And this was in 24. Or, yeah. It was either late 23 or early 24. And, there's a lot of people out there. I'm just going to say this. There's a lot of people out there that are mimics, but they can never be me. They can never be who would want that, right? Who would want to be mimicked and repeated, and their life ruined, and all their joy taken, and their opportunities taken, and their families' lives ruined, and um, who wants that, right? Nobody. um, so there's just a lot of things that God showed me. He said, he wasn't, I don't think he was responding to me, but he said, after I got that 2015 Chevy Cruze, shortly after, God said, the Lord loves your car, but you're going to be walking to the rock, to the Circle K on the corner of Lincoln and Delaware. And I didn't understand what that meant. And I'm still kind of like, someone else was going to be walking. They were going to be walking. And they didn't like it. And they decided to try to destroy my life. And they succeeded, but like Job, they destroyed his life, right? They killed off his kids. They took all his fruits. They destroyed his home. They destroyed everything about him. And then God blessed him tenfold. They said, just curse God and die, and God blessed him tenfold. So we know the good outcome of that. Everybody wants to think of Job, but there was a wonderful outcome of it. So there's more that I'm going to come back and share, but I'm going to keep this video short.